Here we are with
Steve,
another
you're like a
Saturday
factory.
Night Live, November 21st, 2020. Sorry, what were you guys saying?
Steve was talking about his tomato yield.
How was it? So how is
Yeah,
that?
no, I just can't, I canned it. I canned it. When I put it up, it's just sitting on the shelf, waiting for me to drink it.
So it's a juice or it's a tomato sauce?
No, I did all of it. I did everything, juice and sauce
Okay, nice. And
and soup. A lot of tomatoes. Did a lot of tomatoes.
tomato.
I think I did 300, 400 pounds. I don't know what I did, a lot.
Nice, nice. Yeah, it was a hot summer.
Yeah, we had a good summer,
And
weather-wise.
and how is the watermelon juice that you're drinking?
Good.
So you basically juiced it and then cooked it?
Yeah.
Or was fresh? Was cooked? And then you froze it?
Yeah.
You have to freeze it after you cook it?
No other way to preserve it. I guess you could, I don't know if you could can
You
it.
probably can just leave it, right?
Yeah, you can can juices.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know. I've never seen it on the shelf in any stores.
Watermelon?
Watermelon juice?
On the shelf.
Yeah, I've seen it
On the shelf?
Refrigerated though.
Not refrigerated?
on the shelf.
Hmm.
With this,
You can probably can it.
as long as you know you bring it, you boil it, you put it in with next to no air, it's fine. I can't see why it won't store, just like anything else.
I'll have to look into that. I've never seen recipes for it. I don't screw around with canning because botulism is too easy to grow. So if it's not a tested recipe, I don't usually touch it.
Yeah, well, it's any of the juices that have sugar,
Yeah.
they're fine usually. You test
There's lemon juice in it, so there's enough acid in it, that's for sure. I put lemon juice in it.
well,
Usually it's the acid content that
keeps it.
it dictates how you can it, whether it's water, bath, or pressure.
Yeah, well, all the juices are
It's all water bath.
all fruit is acid.
Yeah.
Some stronger than others, right? I don't know what the scale is on watermelon juice, but
Tomato is very low. You have to add lemon juice or some kind of acid to the jars
it's
prior to canning.
For what?
tomatoes.
Tomatoes, low, believe it or not, they're borderline low acid. Any tomato. You have to add, if you're preserving, you have to add some type of acid, whether it's lemon juice or
My
C6.
parents never have.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that's
That's
no, most don't. Not the last generations. They didn't know any better.
So you're saying it lasts longer when you do that?
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's about growing the bacteria
And it would last longer because of
because of the acid. Yeah, low acid, it's too prone to
Right.
too prone to botulism.
Yeah, I don't know how long can the Italian tomato sauce last on the shelf.
Years.
Years?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah. Grandmother's been doing it all her life. Nobody's got sick. All it takes is one though.
Yeah, but without.
Yeah, but I remember growing up. Every once in a while, one jar would go bad. You can see it.
But that's it.
Yeah, but botulism you can't see, taste, or smell.
Interesting.
So
What does cooking do to botulism after?
you have to get the temperature up to a certain. It's 240 degrees is what it is for a length of time.
Okay, well,
Most the juices don't go that high. Juices go in the water bath. So water bath's only 212.
Have you guys ever purchased juice concentrates?
No.
you mean just the concentrate itself?
Like grape juice.
Yeah, it's kind of popular here. It's always on the shelf now.
The frozen
So-
section?
No, this is just in the bottled juices section.
Oh,
It's, what is it, powder?
Lunches?
No, just it's liquid, but it's a concentrate, they say. And
In the freezer.
And you have to add water.
yeah. So I bought a bunch of those to stick in my survival box because they take up less room.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So
Yes. Lunches.
I remember the Welch's used to have the frozen one.
Yeah.
And then you would add the water. I don't know if that's around anymore, but that was years ago.
Yeah.
But also the syrup. We bought some grape syrup. Isn't it similar?
Yeah, okay. Well, the grape syrup, right? Yeah, that's cooked down grape juice, very, very cooked down to make it into a
Mhm.
syrup. But the concentrates, I don't know exactly how they make them. There's a different way that they do the concentrates, I believe.
all you're doing is driving off the water.
Yeah.
That's what I did with this. I concentrated this. 'Cause
Oh.
it wasn't very sweet. So I just let it go on a real low simmer for, I don't know, what it was 2-3 hours, or I reduced it down by about a third.
Hmm.
And it concentrates the sugar. It just gets rid of the water.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I know they would work because the Welch's that we have available here is it's made from concentrate and juice. It's mixed.
Yeah.
It's not 100% concentrate or 100% juice. It's half and half or whatever the percentage is. And I know there's available concentrate powders that there are even in the wine industry.
So I was looking online. I saw from some of the wineries, they have the concentrate.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would be like.
They'll work. I know they work. You just have to once you put the water in, you need to cook it.
So that's like what is it? It's just grape juice that is like
The
concentrated. and
concentrate,
powdered?
however they do it, is a process. I read about it years ago. It's to
Yeah.
do it in high volume production. I don't think it's done through cooking.
No, it's gotta get some kind of freeze dry because it's powder. It's in a powder form, it's
Like,
not.
what about the the green juice powders? It's the same thing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, some of the green juice powders, are claimed to be raw,
Yeah.
however process they do. Yeah, freeze dry is one way.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's interesting with
Different
all
ways.
the different ways that they've been able to preserve things over the years. There's even the high pressure method that they've been able to do with juices. I don't know if you heard of that.
No.
Extremely high pressures that basically kills everything in there so it can be stored for a long time. So there's I don't know how much heat it produces because pressure produces heat, but I don't think it brings it to a boil. There was a guy we were working with Wheatgrass years ago. He's the one who introduced us to that high pressure thing. It's extremely high pressure. And it wasn't passed up here as a form of pasteurization yet, but I believe it was in the US. I don't know now, but this is from a long time ago.
See, in home canning, we can't reach the temperatures quick enough that they do commercially. So that's why it's a little trickier for the home. canning.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like big autoclaves, the ones that commercially, they're huge.
Oh yeah.
And they get up to a lot higher. We can reach 240. You can go a little higher, but not too much. 240 degrees. It's 12 pounds, 13 pounds of pressure.
12, 13 pounds of pressure, you said?
Pressure, yeah.
Yeah, pressure cookers.
I got a big one. The thing will last forever. No moving parts on it. Nothing to wear out. Metal seal. One of the best ones you can buy.
I kind of wanted a pressure cooker, but I don't have any room for another appliance in my small house. So keep it simple, right?
How many liters is yours or quarts?
I can get 14 quart jars in it.
Wow. That's a big one.
The other one, I guess 7.
And that's the way you do it?
You do whatever the recipe calls for.
Yeah, I've watched my parents do it for years, you know. They just put them in the big pots and boil it for
Yep.
so much time.
Yep.
Upside down and leave them upside down. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's the old way.
Yeah.
That's the unsafe way.
Well, we made it through.
Oh, no question. No question. Just like anything else, things evolve and you know that there's better ways to do things, more safer ways to do things. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But see, there's a very limited amount of recipes that are tested because they did it. The USDA did it, I think up into the 40s, and then the funding ran out. So if you want to have a recipe tested, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars to have them tested. And they'll test it for time and pressure to where it eliminates the botulism. There's always botulism present in the food. Like tomatoes, you cannot can tomatoes with the skins. It's the botulism because all the bacteria in they may look smooth, but they're not smooth. The skin is like your skin, you know.
Mm.
That's where all the spores sit inside the little crannies in the skin. Potatoes you can't can. Same thing. Any root vegetables you're supposed to peel.
My mother's always done it with the skin. I remember.
Again, I know that. I know that.
So did you read all this, Steve? You learned it from a book or somewhere?
Nah, I just started doing it and went online.
Yeah.
Well, I was canning for a long time. I did tomatoes for a long time. Just this past year, I started doing more stuff because of what's going on in the world. And I was actually purchasing canned goods to just have on the shelf. And it was getting pretty cost prohibitive because that's for what you're getting. The cost is astronomical.
Mhm.
So then it's just like a light bulb, and I was like, ah, idiot, you got a freaking can, I just do it yourself. So I started last Christmas. I learned last Christmas about canning meats for the kids and my wife. And soups and stuff like that for me.
Man, the canned meat, I could certainly understand the worry for stuff growing in it.
Simple process.
I used to stare at the baby food aisle in the supermarkets because I thought it was so weird that there was little hot dogs in a jar.
Yeah.
Somebody was going to eat that. Oh,
They have those baby food.
yeah. Oh man, it's in a glass jar.
I never checked that one.
Oh man, it's so gross. But it's like anything else too. And now there's these squeezy packets. It has a twist off top, and then you dispose of it afterwards. And they package all sorts of meat in there too. It's squeeze it out turkey and apple or something like that. It just barf. It's so gross looking.
Processed, highly processed.
I just can't. Yeah. Oh, not that there's any good way to eat a corpse, but I feel like off the shelf would probably be the worst one. I used to always wonder about that. You know, how is that okay to look at? Because this was going back to when I was a kid. I would see those little sausages in the jar,
Yeah.
and
Vienna sausages, they're called, right?
yeah,
Yeah, Vienna sausages. Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
That's what they're called.
Sausage. And sardines. You know, how is it that somebody could just take fish off the shelf and go eat that?
Preserved in oil.
Yeah, or spam, right? A
Oils are
chunk
really
of.
good preservatives.
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, if we go around, take a tour around the globe, we will see that there is nothing that humans do not eat. Anything that moves, anything that crawls, anything that flies, anything that swims
Yeah.
is used food somewhere.
There was a show down here, what was it called? It was on the Food Channel. Bizarre Foods, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, the guy was insane. Shit, he ate. New York, little New York Jew, going all around the world eating all different cultures' food. You know, it's like, damn. I mean, some weird shit too.
A mix of shock value and gluttony.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It was all for our
They threw
entertainment.
him off the air. He opened his mouth and said something stupid like most of them do when they get up to that, you know,
Uh,
ego gets blown out of proportion. He lost his show. I don't know exactly what it was. They just never revealed.
I'm watching a documentary right now about fast fashion and the impact of the fashion industry as we know it today.
Horrible.
And it's very interesting because I think it came out a decade ago. But I was working in the accessories business for many, many years, and I was part of that, you know, and it's mind blowing to look back at it, and I kind of wonder what I would have if I had known this stuff back then. Would I have changed anything I was doing, or would I just have kept going with, you know, well, this is my career kind of path, you know, my ego, you know, I don't know.
Wasn't meant to be. You're not down that road.
Yeah.
We all do the things.
Even, I don't know. We're so screwed up. It's not even funny.
The yeah,
I mean, look at, if you ever look at the palm oil, see how big palm oil is now?
oh yeah, yeah,
And what they've done to the freaking planet just to produce this freaking palm oil.
I remember visiting a family friend's farm down in South Georgia, and we were all excited because, ooh, we're going to a farm. This is going to be so cool. And we get there, and it's these massive cotton fields. And we were told about how we got to ride in the combine, maybe. I don't know what exactly it was, but we thought, oh, this is so great. And then we're watching all the cotton get collected, and we were told that it gets sent over to China. It doesn't even stay here in the US. And then the husband told us that he showed us the super weeds. He said, these are the super weeds that are growing, and we do anything to get rid of them. And then just a little while ago, I learned about how, yeah, there's super weeds because of all that Monsanto seed they're using.
Exactly. Monsanto's destroyed, especially the so-called third world countries, because they force you to buy your seed the way it's set up. They're such a predatory freaking monster.
Yeah. I remember reading years ago when I used to read the New York Times, so probably like 20 years ago, and it was an article pushing GMO eggplant into India.
Yeah.
And they were justifying it in the article, you know, and I didn't really understand it until now, you know, how bad.
Oh yeah.
How bad it all is.
Oh yeah. I mean, until today, they're justifying it scientifically. If you, I remember in research, when I was studying biology and reading some of these GMO plants and all the benefits to humanity from these plants. It's crazy. You learn this in school, you're brainwashed.
Save the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
You don't really think about it until you step out of it for a bit, or you know, see when you're able to see the big picture and ask questions. You know, otherwise it's hard to see it because you're just doing your homework. You're expected to learn. You're expected to do well in school.
There's always simple solutions, GANs, man. Get rid of GMO seeds. reverts them back.
Yeah, yeah, you mentioned.
So, there's always simple solutions within creation,
Mhm.
but we're looking in the wrong areas. And everything's seems complicated because we're going down the wrong paths. So once we work within the laws of creation and nature, we find simplicity in everything. You're not going to find anything complicated in nature, in the creation. It's all simple. Uh, just because we don't understand it doesn't mean it's complicated.
It's interesting. It's complicated, and at the same time, I'm sorry, it's simple but also complicated because you don't need to understand the details. The big picture is simple, and you don't need to go too much into like with the microscope and analyze absolutely everything.
You're not going to figure anything out with the
Because you
microscope.
never figure anything out. So leave it. Forget it.
That's why everybody's wearing masks now, because freaking
It's okay. We love them. We have to feel compassion. To
political,
this.
medical tyranny.
We feel compassion to the people who.
We have a COVID case in my shop.
Mm.
Oh boy.
There's only 6 of us. 21-year-old kid. His sister got it, now he got it.
Yeah. But how did he like?
Symptoms.
Is that police?
Oh, no, he's sick. He's sick. I texted him yesterday to see how him is, because he lives at home with his parents, his sister. So he said him and his sister are real sick. Parents so far, as of yesterday, were okay.
Like, what does sick mean? What kind of symptoms do they have?
Whatever the symptoms are.
Like,
I don't know. He didn't respond. He probably was not up to it.
yeah, it is scary when people get sick and everybody knows they are sick and the whole thing, with what's happening outside, it's scary, man. I don't know.
Yeah, the masks are going to save the world within.
Well, he's one of the ones that's in a mask every day.
Oh.
Every day. And he's been seeing 21 years, he just turned 21 years old this year. And he's been seeing a freaking heart doctor this year. What do they call cardiologist?
Wow.
It's like, Jesus,
There you go.
better change something.
Underlying issues.
Oh yeah, always.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you worried at all, Steve?
Am I worried? Hell no, not at all.
Good. That's the answer I like, for everyone to hear.
No freaking
We're
way.
not worried. We're not worried.
How big's your shop?
Doesn't matter.
Good size.
Can you fill it with ozone?
No.
People don't.
I'm not worried. I don't get it. I'm not worried at all.
No, but I mean,
Not for you.
like, I am sure all of us have been exposed to it. If it exists,
You can buy.
I am sure I am sure I was exposed to it. I'm sure you were
Everybody
exposed to it. I'm sure everybody was exposed to it. If it's that simple to transfer from one person to another, but it's not going to affect everyone. It's that simple.
Buy a big those commercial ozone generators. Run it through the night on
Yeah.
timer. Blast everything. Cleans it all up.
But even if you don't clean the air, you're sick. You're gonna catch anything, right?
No worries about it.
Right?
No, not. I'm not worried myself, but
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we have family and all.
I run mine every day. I have mine here at the house every day.
What's that? An ozone machine?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like for your mom, for example, I guess it's good to clean up the air, right? Yeah, for older people, for younger people, just in, I guess.
Steve, do you run it every day?
Yep.
I thought you're not
It's in my
supposed.
bedroom.
Really? Wow. I had looked.
Sometimes a couple I run it when I lay down at night. I turn it on I set it for, I think this is an hour. And sometimes
Is
sometimes I run it for 2 hours. I love it.
Is it a small machine?
Yeah.
We have ours on another one. We have so many ozone machines here, right? We have a big one but it has very low ozone concentration. The one that is running all the time,
No, which one?
the big one. The one that's
Oh,
always
that's
running.
not ozone.
What is it? I thought it's ozone.
That's different. It's UV, different oxidizers.
So it's a different oxidizer, but it's always running.
Yeah, I don't. Nature makes ozone. Must be useful.
And we have one right here. Where,
We're destroying the ozone. Nature's trying to repair it. We don't let it happen.
Yeah, we
And we just stop, the planet would heal.
absolutely.
It may, we may not survive it, but the planet would.
We are in very interesting times, and big changes are happening. We
Now all these freaking masts are ended up in the ocean.
oh yeah.
it's okay if it's not mass, it's gonna be something else.
Huh?
At least consumerism has reduced a little bit in general.
Not toilet paper and masks.
There's a freaking shortage of toilet paper.
Again up here.
Oh, good Lord, I stopped at Costco on the way home Thursday. I had to pick something up. There was no toilet paper in the warehouse, zero. It's like, Jesus, you people are out of your minds.
Yeah.
So you couldn't find any?
I wasn't really looking for it. I just wanted to see because I seen that they're talking about people starting to, what they say is hoard, which isn't really hoard.
Is there another lockdown kind of coming to?
Yeah, I tell you, I can feel it. It's in the air. I can feel it.
Are they announcing
Some
any?
sources, soon as Thanksgiving's over, which is next Thursday, I guarantee that it comes down hard.
So are you hearing anything about it?
Yep.
Who's saying it in the news or?
Yep, just well, not the mainstream, those alternative sources.
Yeah. Yeah, we hear too about here. I mean, tomorrow actually, right? Is the last day before the lockdown on Monday.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
It's already actually here. We were coming back, and
Sweden
the
and,
parking was full, right? The parking
Sweden.
for Best Buy, not even a grocery store.
And was it Taiwan?
For-
They have no more problems. China's done with it. They didn't lock down.
The agenda is clear.
Yeah.
I know
Um,
John once tried to talk about this, but because he and I are both SGI Buddhists, which is the Buddhism that came after World War II, that really people started to utilize, which is going like, we are the change, communicate it, we got to visualize it, we got to work together, we got to do the work. We're chanting, I'm holding a cow, going, and knowing that our thoughts and our communication so powerful, because we're so much more creative, we're so much more powerful than we realize.
Exactly. And this
So
once you put
Thank you, Barbara.
people in fear, they forget all that.
Oh, they're really ramping it up down here, I'll tell you. Oh my God.
when we go, I like right now, people are talking about the challenges communicating with people that have different ideas than you. And there's such a need for that right now. I was driving and there were all these people out with American flags and megaphones and big Trump signs going like, yeah, if the Democrats take over, everything's going to hell, think of your grandchildren. And it's like, how to start a dialogue, to try to say, hey, we really all really want the same thing for our grandchildren and, our kids and all, right?
Way too far apart for any kind of compromise.
Oh, I think it's never too late, and it's better late than never. And we're not talking compromise, we're talking communication one-on-one between human beings.
Can't talk to them. They can't talk
This
to
is me trying to talk to you right now. And I'm saying, yeah, we can. It just takes courage and it takes a smile.
Yeah, but
You know,
the thing
Ruth
is-
Bader Ginsburg.
The thing is, Barbara, like you seem like neutral, right? But there are two different, like black or white, almost kind of
Mhm.
people here. You know, you are on the neutral side. You can see that both. You can understand both. But then to get the black and the white to come and talk to each other, you know, like the two.
Well, it's been designed that way. I mean, that's what they're doing for centuries. That's what the
You know,
debate is all
yeah,
about.
that's why we're changing it now. Because it's been going this way for centuries. That's why we're evolving and becoming more conscious.
We are.
And in the Ruth Bader Ginsburg movie, my favorite line was when this guy told her, when you're with the opposition, the people that just want to tear you down, see if you can like make them smile. You know? And I thought, God, that's brilliant. You know, what a challenge, you know, when you're facing, you know, you seem to be the enemy. You know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, everybody probably knows something about her, you know, who helped change the laws so that women have more equal rights, that people have more equal rights.
Yeah, I don't know about that. She
Whether
was in favor of a lot of things that were very deviant and yeah.
what I never heard that. What kind of deviant things?
She was in favor of lowering the age of child rape.
Yeah.
Child rape?
Yeah.
She and her daughter were like best friends.
Well,
Or
I don't know, you know, maybe watching the movie is all emotional and gushy gushy, but her record is really tragic for many women.
Most people have agendas,
Most people what, Steve?
have agendas.
That's right.
I know my friend just saw her
Planned
documentary.
Parenthood, you know what
Just
Planned
sounds-
Parenthood was the concept between Planned Parenthood is? Margaret Sanger started Planned Parenthood. You know what she advocated?
Well, I do.
Planned Parenthood is all about sterilization of the black population.
Right. Yeah, and Bill Gates's father was part of that. He was with Margaret Sanger in that.
And Bill Gates and Dr. Fauci were roommates in college. How do you like that one?
Okay, so I did not know that one, but
There
that
you
makes
go.
sense.
Do some research on Dr. Fauci. You will be absolutely astounded.
Yeah.
But you know what, being a survivor of the Holocaust, you know, where people just love demonizing Jews and saying how they were terrible and they drank Christian baby blood and things like this, you know, and people got so mean. You know, I really have a strong sense of, if I haven't spoken to the person myself, believing that there's good in everybody, you know, somewhere deep down, and if I'm not pulling that out of them, then I keep having to work on myself so that I can connect with that part of another human being. And you know, this idea of that we can be so much more creative, but yeah, we have to learn how to trust other people, how to trust, you know, that there's, you know, the good in them. I mean, if Hillary Clinton is drinking baby blood to look young, it's not working. You know?
We just drink grape juice.
Yeah,
Really.
looks much better.
Looks like blood.
The opposite. Yeah,
Plant blood.
yeah. Fruit.
Mm.
Fruit blood.
God, I had some currant nectar. That was so good. If you ever had that black currant nectar,
Mm,
really nice.
yeah.
I've never had black currants, but my dad used to grow red currants, and we used to pick them. We were forced to go pick them, and then my mom would make them into jelly. But you barely tasted the currant really because it was mostly sugar. Then by the time she,
Mhm.
you know,
That's
So-
funny.
so many people have these deep food memories with fruit that you coat with sugar, and crusts and flowers and nuts and all this stuff on top, and
Yeah.
so tied.
Fruit
Apple
cake. Remember
pie.
fruitcake?
Yeah,
I used to
fruitcake.
love fruitcake.
I used to love it too. Nobody liked that
I
stuff.
really like it. I would always eat it. I love that stuff.
I liked, my mom used to make strawberry tarts and they were good.
Wait, fruitcake was cruel because if you bit into one of those sour pieces, or ooh,
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I liked it.
you like
The neon green cherry, right?
Coat on it at the end.
oh,
Right? With the sugar coat. Yeah.
Some strange ways of preserving stuff, but hey.
It's just funny, people still miss food.
what did they do to the fruit in the fruitcake to make it?
But you know, my
that way?
my daughter at 7, she made a song.
Candy or something.
Candied, yeah, but it had a weird flavor.
Yeah.
I think it's dehydrated.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
So what's a fruit cake? Okay, I didn't grow up here. Is it just a
It's a
cake?
cake full of fruit, dried
Yeah.
fruit.
But
Dried fruit, nuts.
Rana, it
Weighs
has
about 1,000 pounds.
yeah,
And then
it
it's
has
baked, yeah.
Full of cream and sugar.
No,
No,
just
just
fruit.
dried fruit and dried nuts. And
chopped
flour.
up,
I don't know.
It's
chopped up fruit, and it tastes really weird. Whatever they did to it,
Yeah,
like-
tastes great.
I could still remember the
Candied.
taste.
yeah. Wasn't there rum in the cake too? Wasn't
Rum.
there
You
rum?
could get it that way, yeah.
I think it tasted better that way.
Yeah.
And Rana, it was preserved, and you could buy it in boxes.
better
so-
than spam.
Yeah. yeah.
At least it's fruit.
But you know what
Spam lasts for decades.
I was going to try to share that that my daughter at 7 years old, she created a song that said, when mothers and daughters, when women start being able to communicate, really talk to each other, then we'll see no more homeless men in the street. And I thought that was so profound. Because I know from my
You have a bad connection, Barbara.
You're cutting in and out.
Maybe she's out.
Yeah, Barbara, you're cutting out. If you can hear us.
My mom, how they expressed love was eat,
Hello,
eat,
Barbara?
don't talk,
Barbara?
you know. Here they're making food and
Barbara, maybe you can try shutting your video off. The connection.
pulling it in and swallow.
Can't hear us.
I don't think so.
Oh, no. Okay, let me see if I can figure. Okay, now you can. No, still. Okay, shut the video. Tapping to speak. Can you hear me now? What?
Better.
Yeah, that's
Can-
better, I think.
Now you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what I was trying to share, my daughter at 7 created this beautiful song that made people cry when they heard it. And it was saying when mothers and daughters start talking to each other, then there'll be no more homeless men in the street. And, you know, I thought what I got from my grandma, what I got from both grandmas, my mom, the way they expressed love was they would just go, eat, eat, here, I made this food for you. Like it, don't talk, you know, like chew, swallow. And that was as far as the conversation really went, you know.
Yeah, they feed everybody.
And I think that so when people are missing home, they'll miss certain foods their moms gave them. But I think, you know, us dialoguing here, us communicating is like so beautiful, so meaningful.
Yeah, that's the ways, right? Especially the old Italians, the women, they used to feed everybody They go, oh, you're hungry. Come and eat. That's how they spread the love. They wouldn't let anybody go without eating.
So beautiful.
Yeah, today in the park, in the pavilion, somebody was celebrating a kid's birthday. And so it was really interesting to see the families go in and out of the pavilion, grabbing food to eat and talking with each other, and then kind of looking around, trying to figure out who to talk to, because at a party, you don't necessarily know everybody, you're not necessarily friends with the people. And I kept thinking about how many parties did I go to where I just kept eating and eating because it was there in
Right.
front of me and because that was the thing to do. And I didn't really want to speak to the people who were there. Maybe, yeah, it's interesting to see that.
How you feeling, Lisa?
Emotional, tired. Yeah, I've had a rough few days.
In Florida, they haven't locked down, have they?
Well, emotionally, it's locked down here
Yeah.
for the free people. It's so depressing. I have a friend who owns a cafe, and I asked her if she wanted to go there today and look at the inventory of t-shirts that I've got being sold there. And she said, I don't even want to go in my own cafe. It's too depressing.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, I think the writing's on the wall. People say, oh, well, your governor said he's not going to shut things down again. It doesn't matter. So the county government will shut it down. So the mayor will shut it down. The sheriff will shut it down. They'll do it for you. You could say it's like,
Power trips.
yeah, so it's just the agenda, and it's just, scapegoating. And so
Let's focus on the PLAF.
Yep.
It's nothing we're going to be doing in this
I'll
realm.
have to answer for it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't want to be there.
Nuremberg trials too.
Absolutely.
That's right.
I'm just trying to focus on getting a new plant tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah. That's it.
I'm gonna
The PLAF.
it's cool. My neighbor came over a couple weeks ago, and I took him across the street. Did I say neighbor? I mean, my friend came over. So I took him to the neighbor's house across the street to have a star fruit right off the tree. And he tasted it and he went nuts over it. He was so blown away with the flavor of this star fruit. He was so transformed. He's been searching for a star fruit just like it now, a star fruit tree. And it was a cool experience to share. And then he did research, so we're both looking for a tree that's now on back order. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep planting, and I want to get land somewhere else, hopefully, but I mean, it's not in the cards right now for us, but we'll try to focus on building community where we can, and keep putting up fruit on the property, fruit and greens, perennial greens.
Florida's all sand, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Well, it is and it isn't. It is, you could see the soil looks horrible where it's been deforested. And it's
Green peppers and sweet potatoes grow great nuts.
yeah, so, and the mangoes too. So, but once you reestablish your canopy and your sub canopy and your shrub layer and your ground cover, you can totally rehabilitate. You could rehabilitate the land, and slowly but surely we're trying to do that here. But you can definitely see it that yeah, if you go out walking in the protected areas here, the soil looks amazing. It doesn't look like the sand at all.
It's not very deep. It's still sandy. It's just the
Yeah.
layer is not very deep.
Mm. My bananas are growing
I
really
was up in
well.
Ocala, and it's just the same thing. You had maybe an inch or two of topsoil. It's just
Yeah. Well, it makes it really easy to dig in, that's for sure.
And there's so much that grows here in Florida. There's
Florida's
like,
all limestone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's so far it's easy to go through where I am. It's better than the Georgia clay that I had in Georgia. It's very interesting here. The climate near the coast is quite dry and quite breezy. So I would not have expected it.
Yeah.
I've got kale coming up and Brussels sprouts. And I think that's it for right now. Perennial spinach though I have going on. And yeah, a lot of fruit tree concentration and new pollinator plants. Oh, the pollinators
I
are
live,
just incredible too. Go ahead.
yeah, I live in Florida too. I have a house. I have a beach house in Hollywood and a ocean club house in Dania. And I'm trying, we're wanting to invest in land and community and, organic farming. So maybe we can unite on that level somehow.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on. I'm just worried by the time I'm ready to get some land, it'll be gone because everybody will have snatched it up.
No, we're pretty ready, within the next couple months
Yeah.
to be able to start like looking for land.
Well, that's
So
better.
we can unite. Yeah, because I'm looking, we're trying to build community. We're trying to build, unity, right? Our tribes, strength in numbers. So, happy children and people playing and having fun building houses out of, I forget what we're supposed to build them out of to make them eco great. But I know people who know, and yeah, we can do this. This is a plan for, within the next few months, not in the unforeseeable future. I'm going to have to get off the phone because I have to be somewhere else for like the next maybe half hour, and then I'm coming right back. But I'm so glad to have this family. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara. Always nice to talk to you.
A friend of mine just got a couple acres of land and she got it zoned for agriculture. So she'll actually be able to grow and sell, and she's got room for RVs to even go on there. So it's good for renting out. This is the kind of thing that's innovative that people are doing.
Yeah, in warm weather, it's much easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got challenges here in the winter.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, this is definitely so much closer here to where we should be.
You were in Georgia before, right?
Yeah.
Georgia's still pretty warm, right?
Yep.
Not warm enough.
Not Florida warm.
Not even close. Yeah, I wouldn't move anywhere north of here now. I mean, it's so good. It's getting close. Like you feel like you're getting closer to the right place.
Until the Earth changes climate.
True.
Which can happen. We don't know.
Yeah.
It's happened many times before. So let's see if it happens in our lifetime. Whatever it is, it is.
Yeah. I was listening to thoughts today about where the sun and moon really are, what they are, and what kind of plane we live on. And it was so fascinating. It was like, I kind of felt like a little kid who was just learning about something new, that not everything, the way we should have been taught. how we don't know exactly where we're living, that there is no confirmation of what we are told is confirmed. It was nice.
Yeah.
I was bike riding too. I told Steve the other day that I really wanted to eat. And
What are
then
you
I
doing?
told,
You're doing a long one, right?
yeah, I don't know what exactly I'm doing right now, but it's day 9.
Yeah, I wouldn't, if you feel like eating, I would break it for sure. There's no reason to do a long one. It's all about the
And
lifestyle.
I feel like shit if you eat. I do.
Yeah. Well,
I'm on level
you
5 this week and just
Level
eat and
one.
just don't cut it.
So what do you want to do?
Probably stop.
Sorry?
Probably stop eating.
Stop eating? Yeah, if that's what you feel like doing, then go for it. But as a lifestyle,
Yeah.
it's okay to eat, in my opinion. Like, I mean, for people who want to eat. Yeah.
Eating's always available.
Yep.
yeah, it's always in front of me, and
Really losing its grip, I should say. That's losing its grip for sure.
to me, I feel that too, except at the same time, I'm so drawn to it. It's weird,
Positive.
in that maniacal, not common sense kind of way, not intuitive
Well,
way.
it's easier here because there's nothing good to eat here.
Mm,
Oh, I did get some grapes that were pretty good.
yeah. Well, I went for a bike ride instead,
Good.
and
Yeah, moving muscle changes thought. Works every time.
yeah. So I've been trying to do that. If I'm out, I come home, let the kids prepare their dinner, or I do it for them simply, and then I just try to get out of the house for a bike ride because this is my most vulnerable moment of the day. And
Sure.
it's very, yeah. I want to eat because I think it's going to solve my problems, I think. Or just bury them, put them away.
Lisa, the food, take it as pleasure, nothing more, nothing less. It's just like you're planting, you're playing with, you're playing with nature.
Well, it depends on how you used it in the past, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's healing. You want to go through the process of healing your relationship with food.
Well, yeah, you have to heal that.
Yeah, for sure. And it's okay to eat.
Takes time. Some people it takes a long time.
There's no question. There's no question about it. And I totally believe that, it's important to find your balance between fasting and eating. And it does, especially at the beginning, just like when you start the master fast, the first month is probably the hardest month because you have to get used to it, right? And once you find your balance with the fast, it's easy. It's nothing. It's actually very easy. And same thing with eating. When like maybe balancing fasting and eating takes longer than a month, but the first month is still the hardest. The first month is the hardest, in my opinion, to find balance between both. Just
You mean,
never give up.
do you mean first month as in level 7 first month, or do you mean first month?
Level 7 is gonna take you maybe at least, I would say, 1 month to feel okay. Now I feel comfortable, and level like more confident, like comfortable in a confident way. And level 6 or 5, it does take longer, in my opinion, but because you're teasing, you're getting out of the routine of fasting and then getting back into the fast after you eat. So there's more, more experiments there, more learning, and it takes longer to get used to it. But give it, I would say, at least 1 month. Don't judge it from the first week or the second week. Sometimes
No.
the third week I broke my level 5. After 5 weeks, 3 weeks, I would say, yeah, now I feel very comfortable. But then I break it and I start eating every day again. So I have done that too. And it does take time. The longer you do it, the more balanced and comfortable you become and confident about what you're doing. The longer you do it, like once you reach 6 months, that's amazing. Once you reach 1 year, that's even better. I haven't reached 1 year, not even 6 months. My longest on day 5, on level 5 was, I think 100 and, I don't know, 30 days maybe. And then I kind of fell off for a little bit. I don't know why, but
I have a
I
thought.
don't know what happened.
I have a question. How my problem is overeating, for what feels, it's a subjective thing, overeating, but known binging for a meal, does that change whether or not you've stayed on your level 5 or something, like where you
When you binge, yeah, I mean, you can overeat, especially at the beginning. But then when you go on for like 2, 3, 4 months, in my opinion, you cannot really cheat too much. You will feel everything. It teaches you way beyond doing a long fast and then eating. It teaches you way more than that. It's much stronger, in my opinion. The teaching is there's more discipline because you're changing. You're not just doing one thing. You're really training yourself up and down, up and down, up and down with the food that, all of us had addictions to foods, some more than other people. And so you're finding a balance there.
The size of our fist, that's really all the food you should be putting in a stomach.
Yeah, but like
Right.
we tell ourselves, I should be eating this way or that way, because your body will tell you everything when you become, when you reach that level. Like after a month or 2 months on one of the levels, your body will tell you. So you don't need to put too many rules to it. Of course, it's good to follow the guidelines for the eating and what's best.
Just the
and
basic rule of thumb, size of your fist.
eating the least obstructive food that you can eat, and minimizing the amount of food. So all this you have to work on. You have to work on the amount. I don't like to even use the word have to, but you will see that you will want to work for your best interest on the obstructiveness of the food, and on the amount of food, and on the hours of eating. Okay, all these factors are important, and we do suggest, of course, eating the least obstructive food that you can find, and that's not going to be perfect, but just work on it, right? We also suggest eating within 3 hours, and that's not perfect. Like one of the days I ate for 8 hours maybe 2 weeks ago, but I didn't eat too much. I just ate, within a longer period. And I didn't feel great the next day. It wasn't my best feeling. So I learned. I said, no, I'm going to go back to feeling more in control.
So did you just say to eat within a 3-hour window?
Yeah, so you're doing intermittent fasting every day, every single day when you're eating. When you're eating. On your fasting days, you're fasting. But on the eating days, we're always doing intermittent. And then the other thing is minimal food. And minimal food, I feel like I don't like to restrict in terms of how much, because I'm already choosing the least obstructive. I'm already choosing to eat within 3 hours. But my body doesn't want too much when you're fasting most of the time. Like I'm fasting 6 days when I do level 6. And when I eat, how much am I going to eat? I can't eat too much. I'm going to eat the fruit meal, and then maybe after an hour or two, I eat the vegetables. And how much can I eat? I really can't eat much. So I try not to put restriction there. And plus, I used to binge eat many times in the past. I mean, I used to be full and still eat and overeat, stuff myself. Gina knows, right? Gina's like, especially if, especially with the fasting. I mean, Gino loves to eat too, amounts, but for me, he eats faster. I eat slow, and like almost there's no limitation. It's almost like there's no sensor. I lose it. That's my whole life. I think for a long time in my life, I was like that. Maybe the past 20 years, and it's hard to fix it with just fasting. You can't, in my opinion, you can't just fix it with fasting. But when you find your balance between fasting and eating, I feel the relationship is much healthier than fasting and then breaking my fast, like a long fast and then breaking it. I never learned my lesson like this. I can't. It's not training me to learn. It really isn't, you know?
Hello, Janice.
Mm.
Hope you haven't been waiting long. I just seen you.
Yeah.
See, the long fast fits my background, I should say. My
Yeah,
challenge is in the brain is because of where I come from. It's just been so difficult to.
Well, I can tell you, I probably would be one of the most addicted human beings I know, because I can be very stubborn too. You know, he is more stubborn than me. I think he's more stubborn than me. Um, Many of us, I think, we're very stubborn people. Um, I can see myself as I mean, the way I say to myself, I have never seen somebody binge eat the way I used to binge eat. I have not met anybody. So I can imagine, let's say I was in your shoes and I went through the alcohol, maybe drugs as well. I think I would be very addicted, but yeah, at the same time, I think went through a different experience, and with my discipline, with praying from a young age. I didn't pray all the way until now, but I did pray at a young age. Uh, I think that, I can suffer for a long time, but I will always know that there is more, and I am not going to accept where I am. So I have gone down, but I have always come up because I can't accept being down for too long because I have seen better, you know,
Mhm,
and I'm sure you too.
mhm.
Yeah, you can't accept being down for too long. So that's why you're fasting, you're not going to stop, even if you binge eat, even if you eat obstructive and feel horrible. You're not going to stop because you have seen better, and you'll always choose better.
I can relate to Steve.
Yeah.
I did so much with level 7 in the past, but it's been so hard to turn back to
Any other level?
food
Mm-hmm.
and the life with food, and it's not just when I'm saying food, it's emotion and and circumstance, and we all have whatever circumstances we're in, and um yeah.
Yeah, but we have a solution. The emotional triggers are not gonna go away. That's for sure.
No, we're not. I'm trying to create new habits right now. And so yeah, I don't know where exactly I'm headed. My birthday is coming up in a couple weeks. So I would like to go through my birthday on full MFS.
Yeah, just go today. Don't worry about it.
Just what?
Just go for today. Don't worry about it. Tomorrow's another day.
Tomorrow's another day, yeah. It's interesting experience right now because it's also memorable for me right now. And I've been recalling my other fasts, long ones that is. And been trying to engage in the positive memories of it.
What are you gonna do when you go back to food?
Well, this is I mean, I feel like right now, some good things that I've done is I've reached out to Steve when I've had a challenging moment. So maybe I need to reach out to Steve or somebody, or, just find a way to, in my hardest moments, to not go to food.
Post,
And to, what's that?
post on the page when you have challenges.
People do,
Um,
a lot of people do the long fast and then we never hear from them anymore.
yeah, well, I'm still hanging around. I mean, it's like I can see how people, I mean, there's just so much for me. The challenges is being called at from all different angles, at being asked to do things constantly. I found that as time has gone on with fasting as part of my life, I just want more and more peace. And the problem with more and more peace is that that's not my life right now. And I do try to do my best to create that. But as the matriarch in the family, it's the peace is hard to come by. And so by the end of the day, or the afternoon, after being hollered at and needed, and I just want to dive into the same thing that everybody else is diving into, and that's food at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's partaking in it for this last stimulation of the day, so to speak. And it feels good. And then my other challenge besides that is that there's a lot of pain in my physicality still. And I would rather, I'd rather eat something so that I don't feel all the burning in my mouth.
Where does the pain from our physicality come from?
I don't know. I mean, what comes to mind is the 40 years that came before. Motion. It hurts. Like it's my mouth. It's how dry my mouth is too. And so I need to read to the kids and I can hardly read because sometimes my mouth is just so dry. And
Why is it dry?
it hasn't changed yet. After all the fasting I did, it didn't change.
Well, I don't know about the fasting. It's about the eating, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Balance between both.
I'm not saying it's because I fasted. I'm saying it just didn't change. It's not one of the things that changed for the better
Yeah, well, we say not
yet.
good start.
Of living, not eating it.
Weaknesses, right? Come up.
Every physical pain has emotion attached to it. Has the field of whatever pain you have in the emotion to create it in the physicality. Otherwise, it will never happen. So yeah, it goes along with food as well, and our ancestors and so on and so forth. But the power of fasting. We all know what the power of fasting. It's undeniable what we do. What happens in master fasting when you go long. The key issue is what are we going to do to be able to maintain a level of sanity day to day, ongoing. Because being in a fasting state is an amazing place, but what happens when
drastic change?
When we take a drastic food again, and that's the challenge.
Yeah, it's all. This life is about balance.
We're living in societies that are not supporting a fasting lifestyle.
No, and
It's complete
You
opposite.
know, many people's spouses, are not on that page, just
Yeah.
How is your husband, is he on the same page in terms of fasting
no, not even.
and clean eating?
I just found a bottle of allergy medicine hidden away.
Okay. What about like obstructions, like the food? Do you guys eat the same thing? Similar?
He's mostly fruitarian. Yeah,
Okay.
so in that respect, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm lucky. I don't have to cook, big dinners or meat or dairy or any of that.
That's great. So like, yeah, I mean, fruitarian is like fantastic, you know.
But it's the level of understanding is not there of,
For the fast?
yeah, it's like it's spectator watching on, there's no understanding of obstruction and how to help themselves with.
Does he support your master fast?
Yes,
And but he will not do it.
correct. Or
How many people have we got been through in our lives or in the mass fast that truly understand what fasting is? How many?
yeah. I think I'm just learning myself, frankly.
Fasting is the lifestyle,
Yeah.
and this is where people have the challenge with. They always go back to diet as the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Diet is your lifestyle. Diet is your lifestyle.
Like most days, yeah.
It's when you embrace fasting as your lifestyle, your whole perspective on eating will completely change.
Yeah.
Completely. Like I used to be a diet lifestyle, the raw foodist, raw's law, blah, 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 right? And yeah, it's good experience. You're only going to go so far with diets. It's nothing wrong with, focusing on keeping your diet clean. But if you have no fasting as part of your lifestyle, we've seen the trend. If I've seen the trend for the last 30 plus years of what happens to people that focus on diet, it's only going to be a certain amount of a cycle until the next diet, until whatever,
Yeah.
because you're not going to find your solutions. Don't get me wrong. You see, I've seen a lot of big transformation when people change their diet. Yeah, because you start changing the environments, and but it only goes for so long of a ride. I have not seen in all these years. There's probably a handful of people that have been able to take the rides of diet for more than 2 decades. Like a handful in all these years that actually stuck to like a raw foodist lifestyle, fruitarian lifestyle for more than 2 decades. Everyone else, they reach the point, and then they start going searching for something missing.
Like supplements or
Whatever. We're going back to meat and whatever. You can't live on fruitarian, vegan lifestyle, and they start going back that route because what's not been taken care of, we go back to what? Emotion. How are you going to take care of emotion through a diet? What are you doing to the emotion with any diet?
No.
We're obstructing, right? Depending on whatever level, but you still, even a fruitarian lifestyle, if that's all you eat, it's still going to numb you at a lower level, much lower than any other diet for sure. But how many fruitarians do we know? Like serious fruitarians. Even people that live in the tropics are not maintaining fruitarian lifestyle. There's people who move to different continents to be fruitarians, and then they switch. I've seen that. They can't maintain fruitarian lifestyle with the best fruit available.
Yeah, some people still like to, like
Because-
they're vegetarians most of the time, but they like nuts
Yeah.
and they like chocolate.
Yeah, we haven't dealt with emotion, and
Yeah, and I think also personality plays a big part in that, right? And my husband is he's very calm and even keeled, and so for him, he's not searching for much when he eats. He's not looking to deal with emotion for the most part. And because of that, I think he's been, that's how he's maintained for so long.
that's why he's able to stay fruitarian, because
Yeah.
if you're trying to bury things,
But he's mostly fruitarian. He's not fruitarian, right?
No, he really is. I mean, I can only think of maybe a handful of times he's had some kind of chili I made.
awesome.
How about
And
salads?
almost 4 years come January.
Does he eat vegetables like salads?
No,
Fruit, he's fruitarian.
hates vegetables.
Okay.
Because his like, maybe that's a natural thing anyways, but his mom used to force him and his siblings to eat their dinner, and they couldn't leave the table if they didn't. So
With me, so I stayed there and ate everything. 'Cause I love to eat.
yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't my problem, but
You get away with it back then. Just go outside and run around.
Yeah.
and it is very interesting to see how people take other things in their life as it comes, and are they calm people or
Well, if we look at the animal kingdom, we see what diets and the effects of being calm and aggressive, what it does, because that's all the emotion of man that runs through nature. So if we look at the meat eaters, they're naturally aggressive, right? They have to be. And then we look at the, plant eaters, they're much more calm. Not that there's zero aggression, there still is, even in the vegetarian world of animals. Like for territories and stuff, like rams bang each other's head, and there's the primates and stuff that scrap it out, and it's all the emotion of man that runs through the whole animal kingdom. And I don't know, I was always fascinated with animals. We talked about last time, I was always watching the animal shows, and you see amazing things, but it's all the human traits that run in there. If you use that eye to look in the animal kingdom, and once we look at it in that way, there's a mirror, right? There's a mirror. We have to look at, why is the animal kingdom not at peace? Well, there must be something there must be something in my heart, some obstruction that is allowing that to happen. That's the way I look at it. I'm responsible for that in the animal kingdom. So when we look at it that way, everything changes. And then we're going to say, okay, well, if that's really what's happening, then it has nothing to do with physicality, does it?
Yeah, well, I feel like
Then we have to say, okay, so how are we going to change it?
I feel when you,
We have to change the fields that we're emitting from here. And then we'll start seeing a change in matter state.
Yeah, I feel like when we become the change we want to see, we will see the change. That's how I see it,
Every thought,
right?
every action, everything, all the way through, has to be towards peace, balance, correct conduct, doing the right thing, always, always, always. And like we said, we're not used to that. That's the way we've been all growing up.
That takes years.
Yeah, well, we have to
Lifetime.
start somewhere,
Really, a
right?
lifetime.
Yeah,
As long as we're moving in that direction, then
like we look at beautiful examples of these different types of monks and Buddhists, whatever, that dedicate their whole life to meditating, right?
So beautiful.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
They dedicate their whole life to peace.
And teaching peace as well, because I guess they teach people too, right?
So can you imagine you erase all those people doing that? What would happen to this planet? Just think about that. Because of what they're doing, there's still some level of sanity left, you know, and anything that we're doing towards that.
And then every
But they're
relationship-
committed 24/7. They're doing that. They're living that. So, you know, that's what it's going to take. And, you know, that's why we keep talking about let's move in the era of peace, balance, correct conduct. I don't see any other solution, honestly, myself, in this world. No technology is going to correct this until we change what's in our hearts. And, you know, there's a movement here called Hugs Over Masks.
Wow.
Yeah. Just think about, you know,
Yeah, they're right. Like I don't know where they come from. The
people,
guy, I think he's from
Russia,
somewhere maybe in Soviet Union,
he went through the crap.
and he's like, no way, I'm not taking this. I mean, he has an accent. You can tell he's an immigrant, right? Like us, like me. But yeah, they're tough. Immigrants are tough.
He's not Serbian, is he?
No, that's Selko.
Uh,
What's the guy's name from Russia? I know it's on the tip of my tongue.
yeah, but it's just so nice to see these young people. You know, they're like, no,
Yeah.
we went through it. My family went through it. I was a kid, and I'm not going back there. And if you guys, you know, he keeps saying, you know, please, very nice people. You know, very gently, he tells people to please stand up for your rights. Like, not aggressive. Very nice. He's not swearing. Just doing his part. You know. It's
Hi,
so
Eric.
beautiful. So beautiful.
We all have a part to play.
Yep, we
Yeah.
all do.
Yeah, such nice people. Very motivated. And he was selling T-shirts, you know, to support themselves and their movement, because they're putting a lot of time and energy into it, right? And then he goes
Yeah.
to the stage and he just gives a talk. Like, it's just so spontaneous. He doesn't need to prepare. You can tell but he has so much to share, you know. And I just love it. And it's just a message of love and standing up for the truth, and not allowing others to control us, you know.
So, yeah. So, how do we put ourselves in a position to stay focused on peace, balance, correct conduct at all times?
Find balance in every area in our lives. Emotion.
Self-awareness.
Awareness,
Self-awareness.
self-awareness. Yeah, I was gonna say introspection or introspective view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sim, it's a movement here in Toronto, Hugs Over Masks.
It's called Hugs Over Masks.
I think they have a website.
Yeah, they do. Just
Hugs
if
Over
you just
Masks.
start
I don't,
Hugs
I don't
Over
remember his
Masks.
name. Val or something. I don't know.
Probably Valdemir. It's a Russian one. Val. Yeah, very nice guy.
We have here on Facebook, Angelica. Can Masterfast help to repair the brain? Masterfast doesn't do anything. It's just a roadmap. Damage from drugs like antidepressants. Yep, we've seen people been able to clear the obstructions from all that and restore themselves. Yeah, we've definitely seen that. Is it going to be an easy ride? That's one of the most challenging things that we've seen people go through once they've introduced that stuff into their physicality, because it changes the brain chemistry.
Are you?
And
Mhm.
you know, people have already challenges with emotion. The thing with psychiatric drugs is it's very easy for entities to move in. So you will have thoughts in your head and you believe they're yours, but they're not. And that's the challenge.
They're not true. They're not true thoughts.
And if you don't understand that, when you're going through that, and you're not supported, you're not stuck with a support system, most likely you won't make it.
Yeah, yeah. You just want to understand that it's
You-
a challenge.
There's a need to gain the new understanding. You have to infiltrate yourself with the new understanding of the art of subtraction and all the healing reactions that come along with uh, going back to that point of removing those obstructions and allowing the soul to work its magic and find balance in the physicality again. So it comes from the soul, it doesn't come from Master Fast.
Remember, it takes a long time. Like we say, peace. No, sorry, consistency, patience, consistency, and self-love are key to achieve anything in life, really. So you have to be patient. We say 9 years is a good start, just to make sure that you understand it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you want to be patient. You just want to go through the process and also stay supported. Especially someone like you, somebody who has been through antidepressants. You want to be supported by the community, so we can help you.
Yeah, the longer you've been on them, the more challenges more than likely you will have, but it's no problem as long as you make that commitment and you
Yeah.
reprogram yourself to understand what's going on and take it easy, wean yourself off very slowly.
Okay, one question I was going to ask you: are you taking them? But yeah,
Wean
so
yourself very slowly with the help of whoever put you on them,
yeah, if you haven't gotten off them.
and start off slow, 2-3. Start on level 2-3.
Yeah, be patient, be consistent, and be gentle with yourself. As all of us here will tell you that it's very important to be self-loving, to be gentle with yourself. Don't overpush. Yeah, you
Not
got
anymore. Okay, great.
That's great. Yeah.
But even when you've not taken them anymore for I don't know how long, the
You
longer
still have
the
to
better.
reverse
But
it.
still, when you start moving in the realm of the art of subtraction, that stuff is going to be detoxed out of you. Yeah, you're still suffering, of course, the depression, anxiety.
Yeah, it's okay.
Um,
It's okay.
yeah, how long has it been that you
And-
stopped?
Yeah, and remember, these days, many people are depressed more than before.
Oh yeah,
So you want to be gentle, even more gentle with yourself now.
yeah. There's a lot going on around the world. Only a few months. Okay,
Yeah, so you're fresh, yeah. But thank God you got off them.
that's a
How
good
long?
step.
How long did you take them for?
4 months. Oh, okay, not too bad.
Oh, that's not bad. I took them for 17 years.
Oh goodness. Oh
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, Lisa was on them for a long time.
When did you get off?
I think it was 5 years ago.
Before the master fast, you were doing.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's we've seen 13 years.
What's 13 years? What's 13 years?
We've been off for only a few months. You took them for 13 years.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what it was.
Mm.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot of things
Wow,
that
13 years is a long time too.
a lot of things that need to
Reverse.
be removed and allow the regeneration and healing to take place. And everything is possible as long as you've made the commitment into a lifestyle, this lifestyle. We've seen everything can be reversed and healed. All depends on the intent and the motion. 13 years on drugs, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
a long
it's
time.
not only reversal, when your body starts, when we allow the body to heal itself, it's beyond reversal. It's, the reason you took the drugs 13 years ago is because you were depressed. So, when the body heals itself, you're not going to be depressed. So it's beyond reversal. Yeah.
Somebody convinced you that they would solve all your problems. And they lied.
It's okay.
Pharmaceutical companies. We call
Yeah.
it the Luciferic intellect. It will convince you of anything but the truth.
They work on convincing you that there's something wrong with you and that they've got something that's going to fix it.
Yep.
And that
I don't know
The magic pill.
how we can buy into this.
Because the humans choose the path of least resistance. Oh, I can take it. I don't have to fast. I don't have to change my diet.
The easier, softer way.
I can't believe many people fall into this.
Yep.
well, it was
And that way since we've been here.
it's tragic because it takes advantage of people who are genuinely looking for help too.
Yeah, of
No,
course.
And
I think in North America, it's way easier to take these things than in other countries in the world.
probably, yeah.
The way they are pushed and
The more affluent I found that people grew up, the more they had access to it and were told that they were damaged. But at this point, I think it's permeated all levels. And because I've heard that it's over 50% of the kids in the schools today that are drugged.
It's insane.
Probably higher than that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
yeah, Angelica, exactly. Doctors lied. No kidding. The doctors lied, but you know, the doctors went through schooling and they've been lied to, and it goes back and back and back to whoever created all the bullcrap science.
Right. Who started it?
It's
it's not
I-
science the problem. It's the person who, it's the people who put the curriculum, you know.
it's the Luciferic agenda. Is what the mainstream science is in my eyes.
Like
Most of it, it's nothing to do with God because they don't believe in God. So how can it have anything to do with God?
like I was saying, you know, we were reading these scientific articles about GMO plants, how good they are for humanity. Like, oh wow, we have discovered this and discovered that, and everybody's looking up to that scientist who put together a GMO plant. You know, like they're praised in science. You know, where does this come from? They're brainwashing us in school.
Melissa, when I lived in London, being from the US, my body took 3 weeks to get over a common cold. Awesome. That was good detox. My body couldn't fight it from the antibiotics as a kid. Yeah, suppress. And you're lucky that the faucet opened up and allowed yourself to be purged through that forceful way, you know, getting a cold. That's a beautiful time to start fast immediately when you get a cold because the doors are open. The body is such an obstructed state that it's actually forcing itself to open up even when you're eating. So what do? You stop eating and allow the process to take place. Yeah, 3 weeks. I remember I used to get colds for 2 or 3 weeks, lots of them. It was insanity. It's just thinking back how much mucus I had loaded when I started fasting. Oh my goodness gracious. You can't even imagine. Like I shared the story about the lung detox that I got in I think it was in the 5th year on raw foods and fasting. It took it was like a 5-week period of time of severe nighttime coughing. And it was so much, I couldn't use just Kleenexes. I had to get a pail on the side of my bed to cough into on how much crap was coming out. In the day, I looked fine and people wouldn't believe it. I would have a little cough like that. As soon as I went to sleep, the hour of the lungs, I can't remember, it was 2 or 3 in the morning, I would get up, coughing my brains out. And I had somebody living with me, thought I was dying because it was going on for all those weeks. Oh, you gotta go see a doctor. What doctor? I'm gonna cough it all out. And I did. And I did. And I don't remember ever having a cough after that. I don't think until I started going back on the high fat raw vegan diet. And then then it almost killed me. So yeah, interesting how the different foods can affect us for sure.
Prior to last year, my sinuses would start when the temperature changed. And they would run constantly right through until the temperature changed again in the spring. Last year was the first year that I had relief on that.
Isn't that amazing?
And even this year, it's, I'd be going like this, a little bit this year, a little more than last year, but not too much.
I had horrific allergies. I started in my teens, and that all disappeared eventually. Living and loving it. But hey, this is the way it is. Sim, advertising is more prevalent in the Western world. It's never been easier to infect people with their message. Yep, exactly. Janice, you have your hand up. Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Hi. Hey, I just wanted to say I've had a difficult week this week, and my feet have really kind of swollen up.
Mhm.
My Kalima board didn't come in.
Oh,
Now it's supposed to come in this coming Monday,
Well,
which, I don't know, but
just continue with the enemas.
I know, but they just don't, like, I went and had a colonic Thursday, and it really helped. But then so much comes down, and then this enema just doesn't have the force to get out what I need. Like
It's not forced.
and I don't have the energy to get up 40 times in a day off the floor.
do what you can, that's all.
Yeah, do what
But then I'm not getting what I got to get out.
It'll
And
come
I
with-
can't afford a
it'll come with-
colonic every day.
Yeah,
You don't do it.
patience, Janice, patience. Don't fall into the trap of worry. The body knows exactly what it's doing. You've seen the effects of washing. So hopefully you're going to get the Kalima in. But in the meantime, just do your enema, split them up 2 times a day or 3 times a day. Doesn't matter. Just stay focused, Janice. Just stay focused on washing. And you're still eating now?
Well, I'm doing my 1-day dry fast today. And then tomorrow, I'll start back.
Are you
Oh,
doing
no.
any MFS days each week?
Yeah, I really want to eat. I'm trying to eat, and I just can't hardly eat. Like I had 2 pears the other day, and they were beautiful and ripe. I couldn't wait to eat them when the time came. I could only get down 1.
So
Yeah,
what are you doing? So are you doing like full master fast days or?
I was trying to do like a 4 and a 3, to see which one kind of worked. Like the week before I did a 4,
Okay.
but this week I did a 3, and I did eat 3, but I'm not eating that much.
Okay, so on
I
the
cannot eat. My stomach is
okay.
full.
Days, are you drinking? Are you doing the master fast? of the
Yeah,
day?
yeah,
Drinking and everything?
yeah.
Okay.
But I get so full off of the pudding and all the juice when the time comes
You
to
can
eat.
Janice,
I have no room.
you can skip the juice or drink a very little, maybe a glass of juice, 1 cup of juice. You don't need to drink too much juice on your eating days, but you want to eat, when you eat on your eating days, eat like 3 pears or whatever. And then if you want a salad after, like an hour after that. But I
Oh,
wouldn't.
so I don't need to drink that. I mean, I know I thought it said a liter.
on hybrid days, yeah, you want to be doing.
Right.
Well, it's not really
You want to be doing
hybrid.
some.
It's
If
not
you're
hybrid.
doing hybrid, if you're doing whatever you're doing, you don't need to drink any juice.
Yeah.
But
So
from what you've
it is.
shared, you're in a very
I did
obstructed.
mention in the protocol, I think, drink 1 liter, but you don't have to. We say like if you want, in the schedule for the eating days, you don't have to drink 1 liter. You don't have to drink anything. You can just,
Uh.
if you want, you can dry fast
Just eat fruit.
or drink the tea, a cup of tea, and then
Uh-huh.
fruit, and then eat vegetables. You don't
So
need,
when do I start eating? Like, I know I do my tea and then my pudding. And then usually I start on the juice.
yeah,
But if it's an eating day, I
Yeah.
won't even do my tea. But I do my tea, right? I have been doing my tea. And then what do I do? And my pudding.
forget about the pudding, forget about the juice if you don't feel like them, and then have the fruits, and then have the juice, the salad, if you want, or
At like afternoon.
anytime you want. We like to eat within 3 hours a day, and then stop eating.
Oh, I see. So any 3 hours.
Any 3 hours.
Yeah, it's wise when the sun is high. That's the best,
I mean,
most
whatever
power
works.
for digestion.
I find when I eat earlier in the day, I want to eat all day. But if I eat later in the day, I'm done. Within 3 hours, no more food. And I feel good because it's just very small eating windows, like a meal or two, and it's finished. So it doesn't matter really. For me, I like eating at sunset.
I have a question about that. When you are eating, do you have any drinks that day as well?
Yeah. In the protocol, yeah, we do mention if you want. You don't have to. You can dry fast and then eat your food.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to. And I find it honestly, um, uh, yeah, I these days, this fast, I don't eat always drink. Sometimes I just dry fast, or I drink only a cup of tea and don't eat until I eat my fruit and vegetables. They can be a few hours after my tea. Now,
Okay.
I prefer like that. I got used to
The more
dry
obstructed,
fast until the sunset. I like that. It worked for me. It's working for me.
the more obstructed you are, the more difficult it's going to be to have less liquids going through you. The juice washing. The less washing you do, the more difficult it's going to be for people who are obstructed. This is something that's going to take time, where your body starts hydrating itself and so on and so forth. And this is why we have the things we have in the protocol, because the washing is so important. Washing meaning the drinking, the enemas, and so on and so forth, to keep things moving through, and eating the least obstructive foods, of course. Angelica was asking what diet is best. We don't focus on any diets. We focus on living at the level of obstructiveness that you can manage. Of course, the least obstructive is the one preferred, which is fruit, but we're not going to see many people being fruitarian. So if you look at the Master Fast Food Spiral, you'll have an idea. The closer you go to the center, the better off you'll be. If you choose to go outwards, the more outwards you go, the more obstructive your lifestyle, the less healing, and the more imbalance. So it's very simple. It's a spiral that you can look at it in the announcements.
Yeah.
We have it there somewhere.
So it's a master fast lifestyle. It's not just eating. We're master fasting. We some days, and some days we eat. You choose whatever number of days you want to eat, and whatever number of days you want to fast.
If you read the protocol, it's all the info is in there.
Because you want to choose something that works for you, that suits you. Everybody is different, has a different situation. And it's mainly fruits and vegetables when we eat. That's what we recommend. But you'll have it's in the protocol. You'll see more information.
Hello, John, watching from Fargo, North Dakota, USA. Hello, Elaine and Hazar. Yes, I was experiencing something similar. I am totally fine during the daytime, and at night I have strong pain on my back, and wakes me up at night. Pain, where in your back? What area in your back? Sim, you have a question? Go ahead.
Okay, there we go. Just had to unmute. So Monday will mark 40 days. This is my second round. you know, thankfully I let go of ego,
Awesome.
because
For now?
after my
Yeah.
first, huh?
For now.
What was that, Gino?
For now, I
Oh,
said.
for now. Yeah, for now. You're
Awesome.
so right about that, because it comes and
He'll
goes.
be
You know,
back.
the emotion is always.
He'll be back. It's okay. It's okay.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. But I mean, if I hadn't let go at that time of the ego, because my first round, I remember I was on a Zoom call with you guys, and it was my first round, and I was 20 days in,
Right.
and you guys told me, "Great, now stop tomorrow,"
Slow down. Yeah.
and I didn't want to. I really didn't. But I'm grateful I did, because when I did, I didn't break it correctly. Thank God for the cherry juice. Oh my God, that thing is a jackhammer. Whew, so good. But I recovered from that, and then yeah, Monday will be 40 days for me. I've got
This time around?
Last Supper 12. Say again.
This time you're on you'll be on 40?
Monday will mark 40 days. Yeah.
Okay.
Last Supper 12, about maybe 1 to 2 liters juice per day. Let's see. Sometimes I have 4-gallon days or 8-gallon days as far as the washing is concerned. Oh my God, like there are days where it's like, no, I got to keep going. So it's like load up another 4, and you get, I mean, because I didn't get a 5-gallon, I got a 4. So I'll just load it up again and go for it. I got the shower filter. I stopped trying to go strictly distilled. That was ridiculous. That was, again, that was
it's too much work.
Yeah, it was so much work.
And
It was ridiculous.
Is it going to be more beneficial? Not in my eyes.
More beneficial.
Right. But the thing is, like, I mean, trying to, but the way I was trying to do it before with the distilled, it was hard to reload. So with the shower filter, oh my God, just, perfect temperature, boom, go, go again.
Change your filters more often.
Yeah.
They're not expensive.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So, and that was one of the best things I ever did. Maybe it took having to switch employment, where it's like, okay, maybe I don't have as much as I had coming in, so I'll have to stop with my my luxury of getting so much distilled as I was doing almost on a weekly basis. But yeah, so I'm actually starting to feel a little bit of regeneration in one of my knees, because I remember some folks say that they'll start to feel pain in their joints, and that's actually from regeneration. It might be something old that they've been kind of tolerating over time. I was curious if you guys could shed some light on how that might go, and how I can use some of the tools to kind of assist that process.
Yeah. You also were mentioning some other challenges. I don't remember now on the page. I think we were talking about some stuff. You were having some challenges.
The one challenge I can think of particularly, consistency for a while was an issue. And, because I wasn't maintaining consistency, I wasn't living it and loving it. But once I established a little bit more consistency and was a little bit more committed and just grateful for the process too, I also started noticing that the releases were a lot more.
Yeah.
Because I had that shift.
Yeah.
Oh, it was incredible. I think it was the other day. It was an 8-gallon day. I'm so glad I did 8 gallons. And oh my God, it was just, it was really digging deep. And I'm still feeling the effects after that day, but it was really, really good.
Yeah.
I don't recall what I had on the page.
Sorry?
I don't recall what challenges there were on the page, because this would be the time to bring it up.
You're talking about the knee now and regeneration like that. We've seen from many, many, many different people about having pain come up from old injuries during the fasting state, very long fast, and they would get pain. Some people would last sometimes for days. Some people would last maybe a few hours, and then it would be gone, and they wouldn't feel it anymore. So
the knees is also kidneys.
yeah, of course, everything's kidneys. But yeah, when you start feeling pain, and let's put it this way, anytime you're in the fasting state, especially long, when you go long, anytime there's any change, doesn't matter if you feel it's negative, it's always good news. And that's why we say jump for joy, you're going through a healing reaction. So you have pain in your knee, jump for joy. There's something happening there. The body knows exactly what it's doing. Jump for joy. So how do we assist these times? You can do castor oil packs, right? You can use what's it called? Comfrey root. You can do that. Those kind of packs. Yeah, the Godfrey root. You grind it up, and you make a poultice, and you put it on, and just leave it on there for a few days. Castor oil, you do 3 days on, 3 days off, 3 days on, 3 days off, right? At least 1 hour with the heat. You can do that.
And
Massaging the acupressure points, kidneys with the burn stick, of course. You can massage around the knee with the burn stick. Get energy flowing. There's just stagnation there that's being released, and that's why you feel the pain. That's what happens whenever there's imbalances in the area. There's a stagnation of energy, and that's why we have problems in those areas.
and you mentioned 1 to 2 liters of juice per day. I would drink at least 2.
Yeah, 2 liters.
Yeah, just to flush things, just to get things flushed. Because it's, in my opinion,
Mhm.
it's the kidneys. You really want to have your kidneys.
Yeah, why is there obstructions in the physicality? The kidneys are backed up, not able to move out the obstructions. They're just plugged up. And then we start having different areas of the body breaking down. You know, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, neck, whatever, ankles, toes, fingers. It all relates back to the kidneys and the physicality energetically as well. So, you know, and then of course there's on the field side of things, there's emotions. And if you look at, what's her name again?
Hey, Louise.
Louise Hayes, there's on the internet, look at the emotions and
The
related
organs.
to the different diseases and pains and see how that relates. And maybe you'll get a better feel of why you have that through, of course, the lifestyle you've chosen, but it always goes back to the emotions, physical in the fields to bring into the realm of physical challenges. Always, 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 always. And also, of course, our ancestors, we can thank them.
Oh, you're right about that. I've got a lot to thank for them. I've got an uncle that had he had a kidney replaced. I've got family members that passed away from kidney complications. So,
Oh, kidneys is in every
Kidneys is
all of us.
big time, big time. You got these 2 little organs the size of our ears. They're miraculous, you know, organs, vital organs that are very misunderstood, and
And
we need to nurture them emotionally more than anything.
They took so much abuse for us.
And we, you know, when we put the more food we put in them, the more abuse we're going to put to those poor little things. So if we focus more on living in the fields, they're gonna thank us. And you know, I was crucified when I said you don't need to drink water anymore. Actually, don't drink water anymore. I was crucified when I said that. And you know why? That's one of the key things of the new understanding that kidneys don't want water. You know, our physicality can create its own hydration because it's not about water. Hydration is not about water. It's 2 different things. What we've been sold that hydration comes from drinking water, right? No, it only stresses out the kidneys. Somebody who eats heavy obstructive foods, yeah, they're going to need to drink water because it needs to dilute all the obstructions. They're not going to feel good if they don't drink any water. So people start drinking more water and they kind of feel better up to a point. And then the stress starts coming in from drinking all the water. If people have prolonged that you know belief system. But yeah.
One last thing before I go. I'd love to stay for the meditation. Unfortunately, I can't. So going forward past 40 days, are there any things that you got? I mean, because I've gotten to a point where the consistency is really, really good. Just maintaining.
Yeah. Simeon, the consistency is crucial, but the thing is that the fasting is being in the fasting state, the level 7. Once you're in that role, it's the easiest thing you can do. What's going to
Mhm.
happen when you go back to food is the challenge. That's good. Like, that's why we said, that we suggested before, just, take a break now and then go back. Because if you went on the long one back then and you broke it the way you broke it on 20 and you did like, say, 108 days, you'd be cursing left, right, and center because of, oh yeah, because of, the punishment you put the body through. So
Mm.
What level do you see yourself living?
that's the question.
Right.
After.
Oh yeah. I could probably see myself at it would be probably be prudent to if I wanted to maintain probably at a maybe at a 5.2 or a 3.4.
Yeah, I can see you doing
Yeah.
4. I don't know why.
Yeah, if you
I think, yeah, maybe
Are-
eat on the weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some people do that.
are you planning
When
on
they're
going
driving.
only 40, or what's your plan right now, or you don't have a plan?
Well, the plan was 60.
60?
Yeah. But
Well, yeah,
because I
the more you
go
move,
ahead.
the more you go on level 7, the more of a
Harder.
shock it is to eat. Remember that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like this, it feels great being in that level 7. It feels amazing. We've heard those stories over and over and over again, and we've seen the magic that happens.
We've experienced them 200
So
times.
just be emotionally prepared for when the eating comes. Work it out now and commit to that. And no, at all costs, yeah, you're gonna fall off a little bit here and there, but be prepared and understand what's gonna happen. That's all I
Alright.
can say. Stay connected all the time, and
Enjoy
Yeah.
everything. Enjoy both the fasting and the eating. Enjoy
We-
it, and that's why there are the levels. I mean, I have to tell you the truth. When on my eating day, yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like, okay, my whole day was kind of taken away because I got distracted with eating. With like either cooking or eating. The whole time is gone. And also shopping for the food. It takes time. But and I feel really it's not so much worth it. But then the next day, or even like later after a few hours, I'm like, yeah, it's okay, it's not bad to eat. And then the next day my desire for the food is more. It's not that I'm craving, but I kind of, when I see the pictures of the food that I take, because I take photos, I'm like, oh yeah, it looked good, and I remember it tasted good. So it becomes, my relationship becomes better. But the moment I eat, or the day I eat, it's not that good. Like, not the relationship is good, but the appreciation is more when I get away from food. The more you fast, like Tatiana said, the more you fast, the more you appreciate food. The more you eat, the more you appreciate fast. So just find your balance with both.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will ever give up food, because I don't see why. It's ups and downs. This is life. I don't need to eliminate it. I don't need to eliminate anything that has a little bit of joy. It's okay.
everybody has to find their own level. It's as
Plus,
simple as that.
it's a way of relating to people who are eating. Same experience.
As long as we stay prudent, all is well, and we have the understanding, because the body's going to talk to you. It's going to be very loud. The senses are awakened when you go back to food, big time. The longer you go, the more senses are going to be awakened. The more the awareness is going to be awakened. So you're going to be very open to feeling those messages, and be very aware. So all is well. It's your call. That's we rather see people choosing a level to just stay on, that they live in love, and start expanding slowly from there. And throw in, you can throw in a long one here and there. but you still have to maintain the level that you were at, or move up to a newer level once you've gone for a level 7 like long digestive vacation, because of the capabilities of how the senses are awakened much more. The senses are always what's the word I'm looking for? Dampened when we eat, no matter what diet,
Numbed, yeah.
numbed out.
Yeah. The biggest challenge, without a question, that we have seen in the past 5 years, our own experience, but also other people's experiences, thousands have shared, is the lifestyle. Not the fast, but the lifestyle is the biggest challenge. We say, a good start is like plan for 6 months on the lifestyle and do it and see how you feel, and keep and then extend it to 1 year, and
What-
see how you feel.
What have you been doing since the 20 days you broke?
I mean, it's a,
On the 20 days that when I broke it.
No, what have you been doing since that time until we started this fast?
Oh, well, the sensitive, after I actually went for 25 days after that Zoom call. And then I broke the fast with I think that first week it was like watermelon, bananas, some vegetables like green pepper. I've always loved green pepper growing up.
Were you maintaining any levels? Or were you eating 7 days a week?
I think I ate like 3 days a week, and then I would do the tea tinctures, washing and juice for, I think I did like maybe a 3-4, and then I extended it to like a 5-2, and then the sensitivity to the food wasn't something I was ready for, and then I fell off hardcore.
yeah.
Even though we warned you, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Of course. Even though you warned me. Sure. Absolutely.
The ego, the stubbornness is in all of us.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We have to go through the experience.
I know.
Have to.
Yep.
We've all been there.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
You have to go through it.
that's why you say take it easy. So
All is
Right.
well, brother. Just stay focused. Stay focused on the lifestyle.
yeah,
all's
well,
well.
that's everybody's challenge. My challenge, his challenge, your challenge, everybody.
So,
So
Okay.
Go for the 60. Magical at 60.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
All right.
I
Well, I
found
do want to.
for what I just did, it seemed every 30 days or so was a whole different level.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You hit 60, you're gonna hit a whole different level,
Yeah. We have the daily.
somewhere in that area.
We have the daily cycles, we have the weekly cycle, we have the monthly cycle. We're going through all these different cycles as we're going, in the fasted state. So
Mhm.
this is all, being experienced through that.
but may I say something? Level
Yeah.
5 and 6 do get you into similar.
Mm.
Yeah.
Similar.
It just takes
Yeah.
just slower.
When you go 60 days, 90 days, you're gonna feel like,
Oh, yeah.
but you have to maintain your everything. You're gonna maintain your drive, of course. You're gonna maintain everything, and you will feel it. It's deep. Just because you ate for 3 hours a week or once or twice, it's not gonna completely stop the process. You're going to
Hmm.
continue digging deep. It's a lifestyle. You just have to keep going.
Yeah.
Very deep.
What do we have here? Is that it, Sim?
Yeah. No, thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great night.
All right. I have a question. I do not understand why olive oil is obstructive and not suggested to be eaten during MFS or any time other. I thought it was very healthy for the body. That's what we've been told, right? We've been told that cigarettes were healthy at one time. So until what? Until they said it was, the worst thing you can do to your body.
Cigarettes are healthy.
Yeah, doctors were promoting it when
Really?
way back. Yeah, there's commercials.
Hmm.
You can find them on YouTube. So we've been told a lot of things, and if we come to the new understanding that it's not about diet, it's not about addition, it's about subtraction, then once you start going through the experiences, your whole belief system will start changing. It won't start changing before that.
Yeah.
I've experienced what oils do to the body at higher levels, and they're very, very obstructive and very, very destructive. And yeah, and you know, one of my friends, he died. So it's I've seen many people going on these high fat diets and seeing the results. They feel great for a while, and then boom, they hit a wall, and they get themselves in trouble.
Yeah.
Some strong constitution will be able to go longer than others. You know, I don't have the strongest constitution, so I guess I'm fortunate that I didn't have to go that long, because the more longer you go, the more damage you do
Well,
on these diets. But
yeah.
I honestly, until you come to the new understanding that only the body can feed, hydrate, purge, build, balance, and heal itself through the soul from source, you really will never understand why olive oil is not healthy,
You know,
or any diet is not
Tatiana had a
healthy.
beautiful post in the past, you know, one of her earlier posts about the oil, how she had an analogy how the oil clogs the drains.
It slows
Right?
things down.
It clogs the drains.
Oh
And
yeah,
it does exactly the same thing in our bodies.
yeah. I told a story about when we were growing up. My mother used to deep fry oil, and they used to keep the same oil and use it over and over to save money.
Yeah.
And my mother's cousin, who was the plumber, he used to come very often to unplug the drains. And I used to help. So I remember these times vividly. And then in 1990, when I started my fasting lifestyle, and I says, you know,
No
I'm
oil.
done meat and something, we started cleaning up, and my parents actually started cleaning up their diets, and you know, more vegetables and
Vegetarian.
stuff. We had no more issues with the drains. Got rid of, you
No
know,
more-
deep frying.
no more-
Gone. Why? So what do you think all the fine capillaries in our physicality is going to have to do with all that stuff? Just think about that. Oils are healthy.
Yeah, same thing when
Okay, if you can believe that. I don't believe it.
I remember
I know it's not healthy.
when I started the raw food diet 8 years ago. The fruit, the plates, and I ate.
Washi.
I quickly learned that high fruit, low fat, raw vegan was the way to go, right? And raw vegan. And so basically, my fruits and my meals were very clean. There's no oil. There's nothing. I didn't have to use soap to wash my dishes. Actually, I rarely use soap now to wash
Yeah,
my dishes.
just water with your hand.
And that
Gone.
just
Clean.
tells you that just tells you how obstructive, you know, the way you.
I've-
If you can wash your plate without using anything, not even a sponge, it means
Oh, yeah.
food is super clean. If you have to use a sponge to clean it, even if it's no oil, huh? Like for example, potatoes are more sticky, for example.
Well, the sugars, but if you soak the sugars, they come off.
yeah,
They dissolve.
yeah.
Not oils.
Not oils, but still, if the you know, I guess raw fruits, you know, you don't have to really scrape anything. But when you cook, maybe let's say squash, for example, you know, bake it, you'll have to scrub them. You know?
Well, yeah, but if you soak it, it dissolves the sugar, is what we're saying. And it's, yeah, they take us a little bit.
What about potatoes?
Yeah, well, they have sugar when you bake them, right? When you
Okay.
cook them.
Same thing.
Angelica, thank you for your information. Hazar, no question. I just like your cough story. Yeah, I keeps, you know, reminding people of what it takes. 5 years, I went through a major detox, major. Most people would be freaking out on a healing reaction like that, but you have to have the faith. And then when you have the new understanding, you just keep going and then use the tools. Angelica, can the veggies be cooked, or does it have to be a raw diet? We're not raw as law. We have many cooked dishes. We're using everything cooked in master fasting. The juice is cooked. It's dead. The deader the better, we say. The the charcoal is cooked as you can get. You can't cook it any more than charcoal.
Not much.
But yeah, when it comes to food,
Yeah, what we suggest is the majority part of your diet we suggest that you keep it as raw as possible, but it's okay to have some cooked foods.
And the reason is because raw fruits and vegetables are easier to digest. We want,
It's
that's
easier.
what we want. We want
Li-
ease.
Less obstructive overall. If we look at fruit, which is the least obstructive on our charts, even cooked fruit is less obstructive than raw vegetables,
Easier to digest.
easier to digest. So, because when you move into the vegetable kingdom, even the green leaves, it's much more work for our physicality than fruit kingdom. So there's many fruits that people cook regularly, like eggplant, tomatoes, cucumber, zucchini, squashes, okra. Okra you can eat them raw. These are all botanical fruits. There's many others, peppers and so on and so forth. So there's infinite things that we can eat if you just open up your creativity.
Yeah.
There really is. Just go in stores or farmers market or whatever,
Tons.
and just look at things that you've never consumed before and start asking questions about what is these things, or start doing research. There's so much.
It's best to eat local though. Huh? So
Yeah,
there's so much
local is
option.
always preferable if you can. But
Right.
it's not going to always be available, especially if people
Homegrown.
who live in the colder climates. In the winters here, there's nothing growing except for greenhouses. But we still can have access to local stuff grown in greenhouses. Is it the best produce? No, you can start doing your own sprouts. You don't need any special equipment to do sprouts.
Squashes last all year long here.
Yeah, squashes are awesome.
The apples too.
Yeah, squashes would be preferable over like the root vegetable kingdom, like potatoes, especially. They're more obstructive. Sweet potatoes are less obstructive. They're completely two different family of plants. And then you have your beets, which are okay. Once in a while, beets are actually a herb. So yeah, there's many things. If you go on the page, there's lots of recipes on the MassiveFast website, and in the group, people have shared many things. Melissa, old injuries that started happening last week. It's been a few days. It disappeared today. Awesome. Hazar, I see. Is it same as for olives? If yes, why the nature has it? Isn't it a food for human? Well, you know where the olive comes from? The oil comes from plants. If even the olive oil or most of the olive oils, they come from the seeds of the plant. So how are you going to eat a seed from an olive? You know how hard that thing is? They use these big, massive stones to crush the olives. Stone, and the oil comes from the pits, not from the olive. Are olives okay to eat? Absolutely, it's a fruit.
There's still oil
It's-
too,
it's,
right? The olives, even without oil.
Not much, no.
Like there's some fat.
There's fat, not the oil. Yeah, but the olives are actually on a lower scale of fat. They're average about 20% fat, whereas something like an avocado is 70% fat, and you go like a durian, I think it's around 30% fat. Coconut, it's very high as well. The coconut fat.
It's not a fruit.
Yeah, it's a seed. These are seeds. So I prefer that we allow the body to remember how to process its own amino acids to make all the fat it needs. That's the preferred way that we suggest, instead of consuming. Because anytime you consume things in the physicality, the body stops making them. I've been to people's houses where there's oil all over the house because they use so much oils in cooking with fats. Like you go on the cupboards and there's oil everywhere in their houses, and you can see the level of their health, compared to people who don't have oil all over their house. And you will get a very clear understanding of the difference of people who consume oils and fats and people who don't. I don't believe there's healthy fats myself. Not when you live a fasting lifestyle and you've done it for years, you will come to know what fats do to your body. Nuts and seeds and avocados, the high fat stuff. You can have durian occasionally. You can have olives occasionally, a few olives here and there. But if you're gonna have big meals, a whole plate of olives, you're not going to feel well. If you have a very small handful, that's okay every once in a while, you know. But I wouldn't make it regularly. You know, once a week. You know, you can have a few once a week, very few. If you're only eating once or twice a week, it's no big deal. If you're eating every day and having them every day, man, you're gonna start seeing the effects of these things. If I have too much fats, I feel it in my lymphatic system right away. So I
Yeah,
keep the fats to
once
the
in a
minimal,
while, yeah.
and yeah, they are a fruit, Tazar. The avocados are fruit, but we don't recommend avocados. Like for myself, I overdid it with avocados big time. And the last one I ate, I don't even remember now.
We don't buy them.
It's the last one it's got to be. It's probably got to be a couple of years.
I mean, if they grow here,
I love the taste of them.
yeah.
The taste of fat is very addictive and satisfying, right? Because it's very numbing. Anything numbing is addictive and satisfying, but it's destructive to our health and well-being.
Also, the fats, you want to be careful not
So-
to eat them with any carbs. Like if you want to eat avocado in a salad, just make sure it doesn't have anything that is.
Chestnuts have no fat, from my understanding, but they're heavy. There's-
Yeah,
It's,
I'm talking about avocado. If you want to have it, like make sure you don't eat potatoes or you don't eat even squash. I feel the fat and the sugar are not a good mix.
no,
Yeah, go ahead. Chestnuts, where are the
who was
chestnuts?
asking for chestnuts? It's disappeared.
It disappeared.
Yeah, the chestnuts, I can't remember who was asking, but yeah, they don't have any fat, but they are heavy because it is a nut, or is it a nut? Chestnut? I think it's a nut
They have, I
family.
think, more carbs than fat. Do they have any fat?
Yeah, you can have them, you know, occasionally. I wouldn't, like I said, you wouldn't want to be eating bowls of chestnuts like we used to do. Italians they used to have the roasted chestnuts. You know, they taste
But just
amazing.
don't overeat. it.
Oh, in Italy,
Once in a
man, they had
while.
amazing tasting chestnuts.
Once in a while.
I never
maybe.
found them here like that.
If it's local and it's go for it.
Yeah.
You know, once in a while, just don't go crazy.
Oh, yeah, Iona, yeah, chestnuts, yeah. So yeah, came back. That was weird. So yeah, it's fine once in a while if you have occasionally, you know, like occasionally, you know, once a month, something like that. Don't go crazy on this
Over
stuff.
Christmas.
You can't have them all year round anyway. We don't have them all year round. I don't think we've seen them here, but yeah, chestnuts is something we grew up on in the seasons, and usually it's at Christmas time you start seeing the chestnuts coming around. They're wonderful. They're good because they don't have the fat in them, right? And but still they're
Better than
I don't know what
other
they're
Christmas desserts.
they probably have protein in them. I don't know the makeup of chestnuts, but I know they have no fat, from my
Yeah,
understanding.
they're not that bad for their
Or very low fat.
Once in a while, it's okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Just don't go crazy over anything, really, because you don't want too much. You don't want to eat too much of anything.
Janice, can a green drink fit into an eating day? Absolutely, sure. Sure, you can have green drinks. We highly suggest to stay away from the raw fruit juices. If you want to have one occasionally, no big deal, but the best to have the cooked fruit juices. It's much easier in the body. The raw fruit juices, you may as well eat the fruit if you're going to have, you know what I mean? If you want to have that certain fruit, just eat it or have it cooked. The juice. Green juices you can have as much as you want, but myself, what I noticed, green juices, you will feel how much more energy the body needs to process green juices versus the fruit or fruit juices. It takes a lot more energy.
Slows you down.
It slows you down. That's why we use green juices to slow things way down. You know, people doing what do they call them? Green juice fasts, right? And they think that's cleansing.
You've done it, right?
Yeah, they got no power. There's a lot of cooling in the green juices, a lot of cooling, and you know, light healing happening when you're drinking green juices and wheatgrasses and stuff like that. And they're great. You can add that stuff.
For
Absolutely.
inflammation, it's good.
Inflammation, yeah, it helps cool things off. I feel they're very addictive. Yeah, exactly. I want more and more. Yeah, all the obstructive foods, anything that's more obstructive is more addictive generally,
Yeah.
and we all know that. So there's nothing wrong with indulging in these things occasionally, but if
Get back on track.
we if we want to feel the level of being in an obstructive state, we eat more of those things, and then we we pay the consequences. But it's up to you, individual, how much you want to go that route. Myself, I indulge in some obstructive stuff here and there, but it's not fun, paying the price. So we limit these things. I need to be careful with them. Yeah, they're. I got to look up the makeup on them. I can't remember, but I think they're high in carbs, high in protein. It's very interesting because it's got almost no fat or no fat at all.
Unlike other
I
nuts.
remember,
Yeah.
like other
And they
nuts.
taste good.
All other nuts have fat and protein, really high.
Yeah.
The different levels of the depending on which nut and seed. Seeds generally have less are easier to digest than nuts, right?
And less fatty. Right?
Yeah. So like pumpkin seeds, which probably one of the easiest ones are the hemp seeds to digest. Pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, tahini, those kind of seeds. And what else is there?
Chia seeds, flax seeds.
Yeah. But I wouldn't make them staples in the diet. All these things I would use occasionally.
We don't buy them.
Yeah,
We
just
don't buy
don't
them
keep
at
them
home.
around. And if you're
The only-
socializing and you want to indulge at that time,
The
okay.
only seeds we
if you
have
choose.
here are for sprouting. These are the only seeds we have or we buy. And olive oil. We have a small little container for when we have people over. They can put on their food.
Yeah, it's
That's
very,
about it.
very hard to satisfy people without
A little bit of
oil and salt.
So we put it on the side for them.
Regular people that are used to eating that stuff, because it's so addictive. Without it, it's very difficult. We all love the flavors of these highly obstructive things. We all grew up on this stuff, so it's not something that is easy to give up. But anyway, we're what 2.5 hours. I think we need to do a meditation, because the group meditations are so powerful, and this is needed more than ever in
At this time.
this time in humanity's existence. I believe we're going through a very, very challenging time, probably one of the most challenging times that we know of in our current history. So let's take some time to do a meditation. We haven't done it for the last few weeks because we're going so long on these calls. We want to try and keep them at around 2 hours. It's good. If things are moving along, and then we can keep going for hours and hours, but short and sweet. 2 hours is not short, but we all enjoy going through discussions and stuff. That's why we're continuing doing these, because it's awesome, and we support each other and so on and so forth. One more question: what is the most obstructive food you ate in the last month? Some things that may have some oil in them.
For me, potatoes maybe.
Yeah,
But no
potatoes.
oil. No oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were okay. Just make sure you don't overeat. And,
Yeah, vegetables. I try and minimize it, as least possibly can. So let's get comfortable, and if anybody wants to join and can stay, that would be great. The more people that join in a meditation, the more powerful they become. Group meditations are very powerful. This has been actually proven many, many times that groups of people would meditate in cities and the crime rates would go down. So if we continuously focus on that, that's why for 5 years we've been talking about let's all put our focus on the same time of 4:32 a.m. and or p.m. every day and just spend those 9 seconds. 9 seconds of making a deposit into the Masterfast Plasma Bank, we call it. It's in the ether, and everybody makes a deposit in there to build the field strength of it, so that field strength can feed the weaker fields and send plaf to the weaker fields and elevate the souls of the weaker fields. And the more we do that, the stronger it gets, and the more plaf there is to go around for the weaker fields. So as we sit in our chairs, getting comfortably, good to have your feet flat on the floor, laying down, whatever you like. Get your hands in a position you like. You can do any mudra you like. The heart mudra is very powerful. For those who don't know it, you put the index finger at the base of the thumb, the tip of the thumb to the tip of the 2 middle fingers, and then the pinky, you let it stand out. Or you can do the regular mudra, either one, or you can do no mudra, just keep your hands flat and comfortable. Keep your spine straight, focus on the breath. And breathing is very, very important. We've been talking about the Buteyko type breathing, which is focusing on minimal breathing, because not only do we eat and drink too much, we also breathe too much, and nasal breathing is something that we do naturally when we're born. Watch babies breathe. They breathe minimal, nasally, and it's all down into the belly area. You'll see their belly going up and down. You don't see their chest moving when they breathe. So that we want to retrain ourselves to remember how to do that. And once you've practiced it for a while, some people may take a month, 2 months, 3 months, then it starts becoming naturally and normal again. At the beginning, when you start practicing nasal only minimal breathing, it's going to feel like you're suffocating, and that's where you're on the right track. Okay, it has nothing to do with wearing a mask. That's completely something different. We're nasal breathing minimally to build up our CO2 naturally in the physicality, because CO2 is the energy exchange element. Without that, we will not have any energy exchange on this planet. It's a key element, carbon. So people, are still believing that carbon, sugar, and all that is so bad for you. Well, no life would exist on this planet. So let's continuously focusing on that breath, going in through the nose, out through the nose. And when we take the breath, the inhale, let's focus that breath starting on the tailbone, at the bottom of the tailbone, the tip of the tailbone. And when we inhale, we drive the breath going up the spine to the top of the head. And then on the exhale, we exhale and we move the energy down the front of the body, going down under the groin back to the tailbone. And then we back on the inhale, going up and down the front. And you go at your own pace through a few cycles of going in through the nose, up the spine, down the front. And we continuously focusing on that breath, the breath of life. As we relearn to remember how to breathe, we will start seeing many things change in the physicality as well. That's how powerful the breath is. Now let's bring the attention of the breath to the area just below the belly button. And focus all your attention in that area. And keep the attention there, maintaining the minimal nasal breathing. And we go through a few cycles of focusing the energy in that area, bringing balance to that area. The lower chakras are continuously being overstimulated. And for many of us, they're in a very imbalanced state. So by focusing on these areas, we can bring balance back. If we practice continuously, consistently, you'll see changes. Keeping your tongue at the roof of your mouth, or hydration trick is roll it back and suck on it. If the mind wanders, you just bring it back. Now let's move the attention down further to the genitals. For the men, it's the energies of testicles. For the women, it's the ovaries. Focus the breath in the genital area. In through the nose, out through the nose. Let's bring balance back to that area. Let's move our attention down to the perineum, the area between the genitals and the anus. A very powerful vortex energy center. Breathe into that area. And let it go. Let's move the attention to the bottom of the tip of the tailbone. Breathe into that area. Bringing balance back. Let's bring the attention up the spine to the area between the kidneys. King and queen. Going up the spine to the area between the shoulder blades. Focus your energy, your breath there. Bringing balance to that area. Moving the attention up the spine to the atlas, the area where the skull sits on the top of the spine. Focusing on the breath in that area. Bringing balance back. Moving the focus up to the top of the head. Center point at the top of the skull. 1,000-point junction. Focusing the breath there. Bringing balance back. Let's move the focus to forehead to third eye area. Bringing balance back to that area. Allowing that vision, true vision, to open up with clarity. Move the focus down to the throat area, thyroid, throat chakra. Focus the breath in that area, bringing balance back. The voice box. We must speak our truth, stand for our truth. moving down to the heart chakra, the strongest fields of the physicality. This is where we can have a lot of influence on change. Sending out Plaf and elevating the souls of all the leaders to peace, balance, and correct conduct. We elevate their souls so much that they will not be comfortable in their physicality unless they move in the direction of peace, balance, and correct conduct. They will have sleepless nights, be nervous, tormented by their own soul as we elevate their souls higher and higher. Some of them will not be able to handle. Let's elevate all the rest of the souls of humanity to move forth in the air of unalienable rights, which we're all God given to each and every one of us. Nobody can take those rights. Unless we allow it. Let's go back and elevate the souls of the leaders again. For they know not what they do. We move down to the solar plexus. Let's cycle the breaths same way we started, from the bottom of this tip of the tailbone, up the spine, down the front, up the spine, down the front, up the spine, down the front. Now keep your eyes closed. Just start moving the fingers in your hands. Rub your hands together, keep your eyes closed. Grab the palms of your hands and stick it in your eye sockets and put pressure into your eyeballs. Firm pressure, but you don't want to feel too much pain, just slightly uncomfortable. And if you're doing it right, you're going to start seeing checkers and light. A lot of checkers, black and white checkers. This, my ladies and gentlemen, is the matrix we live in. And if you continue to hold, you may start seeing the stars, blue stars, Just breathe into the third eye and allow it to open up. The depth of space within. Release slowly. And when ready, you can open your eyes. Has anybody seen the checkers?
Mhm.
No? Stars?
I don't.
You're muted, Steve. You can
No, I
practice
must
that.
not have been doing it right.
Yeah, you gotta put firm pressure in the eyeballs. You can practice it a few times, you'll get it. Unless you're not human. But it's very interesting. A friend of mine who showed me that, he goes, you don't think we're in the Matrix?
Yeah,
Try this.
definitely in the Matrix.
Blue pill or the red pill?
What's checkers?
we-
What those checkers mean?
Checkerboard, black and white.
You know what I saw? I saw something like humans, like
Yeah, people see different than you know with the checkers. If you look in the Freemasons, what do they always have? Black and white checkers.
Yeah.
There's reasons for everything they do.
Insidious.
Oh boy.
hazarded.
That's all right. Did you seen the checkers? Did you see the blue stars? Yeah, awesome. It's pretty interesting. Practice that with 3 meditations, and if you practice it a lot, it'll be clearer and clearer. And then if you do it for a while, sometimes it'll go absolutely pitch black, or sometimes you'll see light. It's if you do it in the deep fasting states, it's even more interesting. But I forgot about that one. There's we can still use the physicality for many different things, and it's lots of fun. But the group meditations are powerful. The more we believe in it, the more power it has. The more we practice it, the more power it has. So what does it cost us? A few minutes a day. And if we continuously focus on 4:32 a.m. and or p.m., 9 seconds, really 9 seconds, because there's no time space when you're using 432 as a carrier, and there's no time space in whole of creation. So 9 seconds, what's 9 seconds? Anybody can do that. Just set your alarm on your phones and put that 9 seconds aside, no matter what you're doing. Just put it aside, close your eyes. 1,000, 2,000, 9 seconds, nothing. And we can help do our part in sending the PLAF to whoever we want to. Right now, the leaders need more PLAF than anybody else because they're on a wild ride and they don't even know it. Thank you so much, everybody. We always love to have everybody on. It's always a blast. And we keep going and we keep learning from each other. We keep supporting each other. Right now, I see a lot of people not being able to handle what's going on. I read about a 90-year-old woman in an old age home said she'd rather commit suicide than go through a lockdown again. It just breaks your heart. Like, come on. let's send Plath to her. Like this is crazy. There's people taking their lives at record numbers.
Yep.
It's, you know, people we know and stuff. It's just like crazy. So this is hard on everybody, and we see less and less people showing up. They're in an unknown state right now. So now's the best time to show up even more than before, to support each other, especially with these lockdowns. So we're social beings, and unless you've been meditating in a cave for many years, you need to interact with other beings, and it's going to help you.
Virtual can help us, but you know, it's also you want to meet people physically, right?
Well, we do the best we can. The situations we're in.
It's easier in the fasting state.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Always. So let's continue to live a fasting, massive fasting lifestyle. That's the focus, is always the fasting lifestyle, not the diet. Diet, we love to eat, we enjoy food, but we know where that's going to get us if we overdo that. And let's be wise, let's be prudent, and let's continue to send out Plath. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again.
Thank you.
You guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Lisa.
Night.
Bye.
Night.
Goodbye.